Mungkin boleh cerita sedikit apa sebenarnya benda tu memang dah on dah. Ya. Okey, kita nak ke depan dalam bentuk apa dan bagaimana secara keseluruhan pandangan saudara tentang bajet ini.
Terima kasih Encik Suhaimi. Secara in summary, we feel that the budget is quite solid in the sense that there is 6 billion allocated to agriculture, and we don't have the details as yet, but we have been pre-advised that it could be up to 2 billion is allocated for aquaculture. And this is very important because dari sektor perikanan, the industry is worth 5.5 billion ringgit, and the 80% of that fishery sector is in the capture fisheries, and 20% is in the aquaculture. And fish is very important to the country's economy because it contributes to roughly 2.7% of the country's GDP. It's also important in terms of our health because our country, Malaysians, are a very big consumer of fish. The Europeans typically eat 19 kilo per capita. In North America, they eat about 21 kilo per capita. Tapi Malaysians, we eat 57 kilo per capita. So fish is a very important source of protein. Tapi unfortunately, ikan dah tak banyak di laut. Jadi we need to encourage this sector to grow. And we're very happy to see that 6 billion has been allocated to agriculture. And we can see that Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri has made a few announcements related to the fisheries sector specifically. We can see that untuk nelayan-nelayan, there is 60 million that has been allocated to provide alternative sources of income to the fishermen during the musim tengkujuh. And this is very important because there are 144,000 fishermen in the country, and they basically work 9 months in a year.
Tapi kalau ikan tu tak banyak di laut, sebagaimana yang dikatakan oleh Saudara Razali tadi, kalau ikan tu tidak di laut, jadi sekarang dalam kita nak cari ikan ini, teknologi macam mana yang harus kita laburkan wang ini supaya ikan di laut tu dibuat dalam bentuk lain, dalam sangkar kepada whatever this, dan cabaran seterusnya kepada usahawan-usahawan kita.
You are spot on, Encik Suhaimi. Unfortunately, the problem of dwindling resources in the sea is not common only to Malaysia. It is also happening in the North Sea, in Europe. It's also happening in South America. It's happening all over the world. Our fisheries resources are diminishing, and with a very rapid population growth, we don't have enough fish to supply to the world. And to Malaysia itself, kita tak cukup ikan. Jadi we should not be investing in more vessels or more ship to go into the deep sea.
That's my point. Basically, because I don't know what's the movie. Was it Perfect Storm? You know, yeah, because they use computers. They use
remote sensing
and all that. Yes, exactly. And that's where we should be heading, right? So when will we see, the industry moving towards that?
We need to encourage large-scale private sector investment, even foreign investment into this sector. In the deep-sea fishing as well as in the aquaculture industry. The way of the future is in aquaculture. There's no doubt about it because we need to be able to grow our own fish. Last year, for example, we have a negative trade balance of 800 million. And this year, we think it's going to reach almost 1 billion ringgit. And this is not sustainable. And this is only for fish. So we are consuming more fish than what we can produce. And the trend, if it gets worse and worse, we cannot afford to spend billions and billions to buy salmon from Norway or ikan kembung from Pakistan or India forever. We have to produce our own fish. So fish ni sources dia tangkapan dan juga culture. But the way forward, I think, is culture. And we need to encourage large-scale, modern aquaculture in the country. And we have been very successful in the investment in chicken farming.
Yeah.
There are at least 5 companies that are doing chicken farming, and they are all billion-dollar company each. And yet, there are not one fish farming company or aquaculture company or deep-sea fishing company yet in Malaysia.
Why is that? Talent?
Firstly, funding.
Funding? People are just not
technology.
interested to be in that business? Is that the case?
Sorry.
Are people basically not interested to go into that, or what? Or people prefer to do it the old way and not do that quantum leap?
Okay, I put it this way. I think 20 to 30 years ago, kita gairah in the industrialization, in IT, in communication, in manufacturing. We are very good at making TVs and white goods, consumer electronics, refrigeration, fridges, TV, cars. Our products are all over the world, but at the expense of agriculture. We forgot about agriculture and how important it is, and now the aspect of food safety or food security has come into play. There's no point in having a country with a very big income, but we cannot feed our own population.